Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ikea. Thank you so much for joining. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Y'all, today this video screams sexy. It screams seduction. It screams alluring. It just screams all of the mysterious and sensual things. Today, I am going to be giving my review on the brand new fragrance from the House of Sillage, which is Whispers of Truth Noir. Now, I was able to kind of sit with this fragrance for a little while, and I first want to thank the House of Sillage for sending me this lovely fragrance, but I was able to sit with it for a little while, so I am going to give y'all all the tea, all the goods on this fragrance. So if that's something that you're interested in, then keep watching. So before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. You can also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on a single post. Now that we got all of the important stuff out of the way, let's get to this new fragrance. So y'all, this fragrance screams sexy, okay? I tried to dress the part. So I got on this little silk robe here, and I got on my red lip because I'm telling y'all, that is what this kind of fragrance gives me. That's the vibe it gives me. But I have here with me the brand new fragrance from the House of Sillage, and this is Whispers of Truth Noir. If you are not new here, you know that I am obsessed with the House of Sillage. I am a House of Sillage fan. I have so many cupcakes in my collection, and honestly, if I could have all the cupcakes in the world, I would get them. But this one from the House of Sillage is called Whispers of Truth Noir, and this is actually a flanker to their Whispers of Truth fragrance, which it comes in a white bottle. I actually do not have it, but I did have a sample of it, so I can kind of compare the two. But this one is supposed to be more of a nighttime version, and one thing about me, I love a good nighttime fragrance, y'all. I absolutely love it. Okay, so this is the box that it comes in, and this is the typical box that you would find your House of Sillage cupcakes in. So we just open the box here, and then there's also a flap. And that beautiful, gorgeous bottle inside. So let me give you all a close-up of this brand new bottle. So here's a close-up of the bottle. The bottom is black and the top is this beautiful white gold. And it's actually handcrafted with 200 diamonds from Swarovski. Y'all, this is so, so beautiful. So just looking at the packaging alone, you can really tell that the House of Sillage took their time with this fragrance. This packaging is stunning, and it'll look amazing on anybody's perfume display or perfume collection. But man, this packaging is just phenomenal, y'all. I just have not been able to stop staring at it because it is just that beautiful. The camera is not doing it justice. In person, it's just everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the details of this fragrance, and this review is going to be a little bit different than most of my typical reviews because this is not a first impression. I actually was sent this fragrance before the launch, and I was able to kind of play with it and really test it out. So I'm going to give y'all all the details about the wear and everything that I think about this fragrance. But first, I'm going to read out all of the details and the notes for you. Okay, so according to the House of Sillage, Whispers of Truth Noir, it takes you on a seductive and explosive journey of passion. That sounds good, okay? It ignites your soul with blazing flares of erotic embers and euphoric bliss. Again, this bottle was hand placed with 200 diamond cut Swarovski crystals. This has black enamel along with 18K yellow gold as the top. This fragrance also has 25% oil concentration. And if you're familiar with fragrances, 25% oil is amazing. That's actually pretty high for a fragrance. And that means that it'll probably last a little bit longer than your typical fragrances. So right there alone, I was just really excited to try that out because 25%, woo, that is good. So in the top notes, there's suede, orange, grapefruit, and warm spices. In the heart notes, there's vetiver, rose, leather, and there's also smoky notes. And then at the base, you can find musk, a little bit of caramel, amber, white woods, and birch. So y'all, when I first smelled this fragrance, I was just like, oh my goodness. I love this, okay? I absolutely love this. And I'm not saying that because I'm a House of Sillage fan, but I really do love this fragrance. So in the opening, you definitely smell that orange and the grapefruit. To me, it's a really like quick opening of the citrus before it quickly turns into something really smoky. I feel like the main, most prominent notes in here are smoky notes, like the suede and the leather. But again, in that opening, you get that citrus and it just smells so, so good. And then when it dries down, that's when it starts to get not super sweet, but you can kind of smell that caramel. You can also kind of smell a little bit of the rose in there. And y'all, this is such a good fragrance. I think that this is definitely a nighttime fragrance. This is definitely nighttime. I probably wouldn't wear this during the daytime because to me, this is just very, very sensual. But again, I always say this, fragrance is personal. You can wear fragrance whenever you want. So do your thing. But I personally would be wearing this at nighttime. So I actually had a chance to wear this and I actually wore it over the weekend. And I wore it a few weekends back as well. At nighttime, I was going out. And y'all, I got a ton of compliments on this fragrance, like a ton. So I would say the projection on this one is very nice. It travels pretty far. I would say probably across the room initially. And I also think that the sillage is great on this one. I know when I had it on, somebody was kind of like around the corner and they were like, what does that smell? And I kind of knew it was me. So I told them what it was. But you kind of do just get like a whiff of the fragrance and it just smells phenomenal. Again, this is such a nice date night fragrance. And the vibe that I get when I smell this fragrance is sexy black dress with a red lip. The vibe that I'm going for today. That's what I get when I smell this fragrance. It's just very, very sexy. It's deep and it's sensual. Now, one of the other fragrances that the House of Sillage has that I absolutely love, which is also very sexy to me, is Passions de l'Amour. And I absolutely love Passions de l'Amour. I think that these two, they're not necessarily comparable, but when you think about sexy fragrances, I would put this one in the same category as Passions de l'Amour. Passions de l'Amour is a little bit sweeter, and then there's that kick of oud, whereas this one is a little bit more smoky. It has that leather and that suede, but then you get that hint of citrus. I personally think that this is kind of along the lines of Velvet Fantasy from Montal. If you smell that fragrance, that also has leather in it. There's incense in there, and then there's also a little bit of citrus and floral notes. So that's what this vibe is kind of giving me. Some people also said that this reminds them of Gris Charnel from BDK, which I get the smokiness from that, and I get that the smokiness is probably similar. This is just so, so good. Now, I know that this is in the women's fragrance collection, but honestly, I think that this could be unisex. This is one of those fragrances where it's not leaning heavily feminine. And I think that this would be a great unisex scent as well. But y'all, this is such a good fragrance. I love it. I'm just going to spray it. Again, when you first spray it, that opening, you get the grapefruit and the orange. Honestly, it's like a quick hint of grapefruit and orange. it quickly turns into a suede, leathery fragrance, and that's what I love about it. I'll be quite honest though, I'm not a huge fan of suede and leather in fragrances, but this is done right. I think it's just that mixture between the grapefruit, the orange, there's even musk in here, and the rose that's kind of balancing out that suede and that leather, so it's not overly smoky, but that smokiness is still kind of the heart of this fragrance. Again, this is a compliment getter. This fragrance just screams sex, honestly. This is for the nighttime. This is a fragrance where if you're single and you're trying to snatch a man or snatch somebody, this is what I would recommend, okay? If you're trying to get somebody's attention, this is it, okay? This is for sure an attention getter. This reminds me of a fragrance where, say you're at a bar or something and you see a nice, handsome person across the room and y'all make eye contact and you want to like lure them in. This is the fragrance that would do that, okay? That's what this fragrance screams. I know that's like too much, but honestly, this is just passionate. And I just really love the way that they promoted this as well, because everything in the promotion screams passion, okay? Everything about Nicole's videos, about Nicole's photos that she took, it just screams passion. And I feel like they really did a great job with what they were trying to portray in this fragrance, because this is a passionate fragrance, okay? This is nighttime. When I say nighttime, I mean night time, okay? If you want to wear a freakum dress, you might want to wear that with this fragrance. But yes, this is like, it's good. If you're a woman who you want to captivate attention and you are not playing any games and you want to draw people in, this is the one. This is the one. So again, this is kind of different than most of the fragrances that I own. However, I do think that this one is kind of along the lines of Velvet Fantasy from Montal. There's a little bit of smokiness in here that's comparable to Gris Charnel from BDK. And if you are wanting something very sensual and you've smelled Passions de l'Amour from the House of Sillage, this one is kind of along that lines as well. It's definitely not the same. This is very smoky, but it's along the lines of sensual, sexy, and very passionate. So y'all, I really am a huge fan of this fragrance. I actually think this might be one of my top fragrances from the House of Sillage. I just feel like they just did an amazing job with this one. Again, I am one of those people who loves nighttime fragrances. And I just feel like you can't tell me nothing when I have on a nice, sexy nighttime fragrance, because it just makes me feel so confident. And I feel like I could just step in the room and all the heads are going to turn. That's how I feel when I wear a nice nighttime fragrance. So this is right up my alley, y'all. Right up my alley. So if you are interested in this fragrance, I definitely say get a sample, try it out, play with it for a while, because this one is good, y'all. But this is not for the play, okay? This is not for the faint at heart. This isn't for anybody who can't handle the sex appeal and the attention that's going to come with it, okay? Because this one's going to draw attention. If you want to be quiet and you want to be a little faint and you don't want anybody to notice you, do not wear this fragrance. Oh, I just want to shout out to the House of Sillage. I want to say thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this launch, allowing me to try this fragrance out, and also congratulations on your new fragrance. It is a hit. It is definitely a hit. So that is everything, y'all. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. You can also follow me on social media. My Instagram and my Twitter handle is at Ikea Alexis. It'll be linked down below in the description box. I will also have this makeup look linked down below, because it is also brought to you from the House of Sillage. So I'll put those details down below in the description if you're interested. As always, I hope y'all have a great one. Stay safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.